Good morning and welcome to my Monday Morning Ministry Minute. Today I want to touch on a piece of scripture that has really given me a hard time in the past. It's from my favorite book, James, and it's chapter 4, verse 13 to 16. And it reads, "Look here, you who say today or tomorrow, we are going to a certain town and will stay there a year. We will do business there and make a profit. How do you know what your life will be like tomorrow? Your life is like the morning fog. It's here a little while, then it's gone. What you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this or that. Otherwise, you are boasting about your own plans, and all such boasting is evil." And at first, to me, it seems like God doesn't want us to plan on anything. And we know that's not true. He doesn't want us to be irresponsible. It's like saying that by having a savings account, we don't trust that God will provide. It's kind of some of that same thinking and same mentality. It's saying, hey, it's okay to plan. It's okay to have ideas of where we want to go and what we want to do. But we need to leave ourselves open to God's leading and God's planning for our lives, not just what it is that we want to do. In the military world, a lot of that gets taken away from us. It doesn't matter where we want to go or what we want to do. The Army kind of dictates that. And I believe that God has a huge hand in it. But again, it's taken out of our hands. So those of us in the military world, it's a little bit easier not to get so stuck in some of our planning. But it's important that we be saying, if that part in verse 15 where it says, what you ought to say is, if the Lord wants us to, we will live and do this or that. And I think it's so important that we do have plans and we do have goals and we have direction in mind, but that we don't discount God's plan in it all, that we don't discount where He's leading us and how He wants us to do things and how He wants us to move forward. And right now, at this point in my life, I think I'm a really good example of this. I never, ever would have thought that I would have been working with youth. Not in this capacity at all. When I was in school, I did social work, and I specifically wanted to work with the geriatric population because kids freaked me out, they drove me nuts, and I wanted no part of it. And some of it, I think, is God's sick humor, and some of it is I can relate to kids, and I can explain things in a way that kids understand. And I finally submitted to God, and I finally followed His plan. And His plan is always so much bigger and better than ours anyway. And it wasn't worth fighting it anymore. And if I continued to follow whatever plan I thought I had for my life, I wouldn't have gotten to this point in time. I wouldn't be nearly as fulfilled as I am right now. And I would be doing not just a disservice to me, but to the people around me and to God. And so I think it's so important that not that we don't plan, but that we don't let our plan get in the way of God's plan, that we follow His will and His plan for our lives, because that's really ultimately what matters. So what I want you to do is, as you move forward throughout the week and the weeks to come after that, that we pay attention to what God's plan is for us, that we continue to make plans, that we continue to progress and move forward in life, but that we don't limit ourselves to our earthly understanding of things, but that we open ourselves up to what God has for us, because it's so much bigger and so much better. With that, I will leave you for the week. I pray that you are blessed, and we'll see you next Monday.